It's a good question.
Tonight we're having a conversation with these beautiful ladies who actually are specialized in design.
Hi, nice to meet you. I'm Valentina. I'm interior dark designer, and 2 years ago I founded I create my interior blog. Its name is Housemans. And in it I post every day, also in Instagram, my house and my work. I have my home business, and that's it.
Okay, good. And then what about you, lady?
Okay, my name is Mariana. Sorry, I'm sick from design week because it makes us kind of crazy. And I have an interior design studio. Actually, it's an architect studio here in Milan, but we do mostly interior design. But I'm an architect as formation, also Fanni. I created my studio actually in Brazil because I'm Brazilian. 6 years ago, and then eventually I moved to Italy, and then I stopped my studio there, and then I worked here for a while inside a studio, and then I decided to reopen, but here in Italy. And then 1 year ago, Fanny came, and then she became my partner,
Yes.
and then she can introduce herself.
Yes. So hi guys, I'm Fanni. I'm Hungarian. I arrived to Italy, I think, I don't remember exactly, but like 4 or 5 years ago. It was a long time ago. I finished the university here. I graduated in architecture. It was a long way till I found Mariana, but a long way so good. Anyway, it was a good match, let's say like this. And yes, it's been. In January it was a year that we met each other, and I started to work with her. And actually next month in May will be our first anniversary as partners.
So I'm not gonna ask you a question regarding how, your kind of career path, but I want to ask you from your perspective, how's design for you now? Do you find it adventurous? How do you feel in design as being women, working in design? And how do you see the state of design industry? Do you see more newcomers, especially in Europe? It's been a very conservative environment. So do you see more women coming, more younger people coming in general? And do you feel comfortable working, or it's been kind of a struggling path for you, and why?
So my personal opinion is that interior, I don't know if it's a thing that came from back in the days. I feel like women, they stayed at home while men went to work. So I mean, they liked to organize the house and then change this, change that. So with that culture, I think women are more predominant in interior design, different than product design. It's a different career that I think. Product design is also design, but it's mostly male. That's why now there's this boom with women. I don't know if this month on what's the maison? There's Federica Zone. Marie Claire Maison. They put 3 really young women in the cover. There are 3 Italians and all women. They are product designers because now it's a profession that's changed. I mean, that opened the space. In order to be an architect, it's harder. It's predominant men. So we have to compete a little bit, but it's different. It's not like competing, but of course there's a lot of more men, so it's hard.
Also, I've noticed that in management specifically of design companies, it's much more rare to make a woman to be doing the accounting and being in charge.
Mm-hmm.
You see more creative as women, but then having women in charge there, it's not that common. Why do you think so? Why do you think it's happening? Like why it's mostly like you go and then all of the designers are like might be girls and then the person in charge is usually a guy.
You want to reply that? I want to reply that. It's a good question, and there is a good answer. I don't think it's a good answer, but men like to be in charge, and they are always like pushing themselves to be. There are a lot of brands that maybe there is only one man, and you will find that man is the CEO, and a lot of women working for him. I don't know. It's very difficult for a woman to be in a high position, but it's not impossible. You have to make your way, you have to work a lot, you have to work more to be there. I don't know, we get tired and we just give up, and that's why we don't arrive to these positions. But it's not impossible. I think it's just tiring, and a lot of us get tired.
Yeah, but for example, like Delia,
West Wing,
she's a woman. So I think it's not impossible.
Yeah, but I mean, in general, it's not like it's impossible.
In general,
like, my question was, why do you think that that's happening? Like, is it because if you work, especially like interior design, architecture, because there is like a lot of the construction details happening at the end of the day that men manage better, and women are like, okay, I'm just gonna do my sketching and like I'm gonna see how it's done, or you just think maybe it hasn't been in time yet, so it's been like historically that way, and it's slowly changing, but it's still not there.
I think it's changing because when I used to work in this company, it's called Mediator. They had an architecture department, the interior department was, there were like 10 women, one gay guy, and then and then the architecture one, it was 10 men, 2 straight girls, but I mean like two girls, but they actually did the same thing, but they got less money. Then that's something that's
really
super weird here. They get less money still, like it still happens in 2019, but they do the same things. They go to the site. Maybe there is a problem when we do construction with being respected by the builders. Like when you go to that's why when we go to a construction site, you have to wear something more strong in order to be respected, and that's super still old mind, but it's true. It's what happens, and that's this problem of being respected on the cantiere and the work site. But I don't know. I think it's a question of timing. Now women are getting their spaces, and soon will change that. Like the most famous architect was Zaha Hadid, and now she's dead, but she's dead, which is super sad because she was like the super top, because she was the one that competes with men.
Yeah, but also like Gaia Valenti, so like there are many, not many, there are a few examples also in Italy. I don't think that it's because you said that when it's about like doing sketches, that's the women's doing, and then when it's about like doing construction, it's the men's. I don't think it's about skills. I don't think that men are in charge because they have better skills in like finance or management. I think it's just, I don't know. We are moving on, and women are like moving on for like moving out from these like lower positions, but it's not happening from a day to another. It's a long process. It started, and it's not. I'm repeating myself. It's not because we are the worst in finance or very diverse in calculating. I think it's just like bad habits. Yeah. But it will be better.
Okay, next question. You're all very young and youthful, and I myself too. And I know that in general, Italy is a very conservative country regarding like the work process, and it's like a bit too slow here, and But design has been a very close community, like, you know, always. Like, it's not, you know, it's not as easygoing as fashion, I would say. And so I was wondering, like, since you're young and then you have to take serious projects, it's not like making a dress, you have to make a house. It's like a bit of a bigger scale too. And you know how generally in Italy, like, younger people are perceived as a joke, especially if you come and you have to stand on your own and present your projects. So I wanted to ask you, how did you overcome that? Like, how do you present yourself to be taken seriously? Because, you know, many people have the stigma that if you're young and you're like under 30 or like barely 30 or a bit over, you're still a child and they can teach you, you know, 1-2 steps. But obviously you're working, you're having your own projects. How do you approach, you know, people? How do you present yourself? And what was the most difficult thing to, you know, break through?
By Valentina.
Okay. I think people just know me when they come to me because they know me through Instagram and my blog, because since I started 2 years ago just posting all my projects, so I think that people understood and keep understand that my work is really hard work, and my projects are really like 40 people years old. I don't know how to understand. It's not about I'm 27 and my project is like shit.
Not every older person, also in Italy, there are some very open-minded. Mm-hmm. Like we had, like I think our eldest client is over 70, almost 80, and he never questioned us. Never.
Yeah.
I know it's a rare.
It's very rare.
But once, like the problem is like maybe the thing to reply, like how we, I don't know, how an older people gives us the chance to work with them, because once they give you the chance, it's an easy job. You have an easy.
It's hard to enter.
Exactly.
You have to create a portfolio. So with that portfolio, you keep showing and having proof that you did something, and then more people are like, wow, okay, she did that.
Before they test you with a little project, and then maybe when they see that you are okay,
yeah.
Maybe they give you more.
They give you more, for sure they do. If you prove so, they do.
Okay, moving to the question for the portfolio. How much time did it take for each of you to build your portfolio, and how many projects did you have to do for free, and how many parties did you have to attend before you got actually the first?
It's a good question.
I have to say I did a lot of stuff for free, or I'm gonna use an example in Italy, because in Brazil I had a lot of clients, because when you grow up in a country, you meet the friend of your mom, your uncle, and then this friend and the neighbor. But when you move to another country, it's like you start from zero. You have just your old portfolio, but you know no one. So you know your friends from university, but they don't pay you, so it's not like it's worth it. And so I'm just gonna tell this thing I came in mind. I was like, I'm just gonna mail Chiara Ferragni, and I saw she's buying a new house, so I'm just gonna mail her and then be like, hey, you're buying a new house, maybe you need an architect, like interior designer, because I saw you're already doing something. And then I wrote to her, and then replied me her assistant, which is Martina Maccheroni, and then she's like, Chiara has already someone, but don't you want to come to see my house, because I just moved. And then I went, and I was like, okay, it's fine. You don't have like 12 million, you have like 50,000 followers. Like, I don't care. I just wanted to get inside, like, because you need to enter somehow, like, so. I said, okay, so I went to her house, I met her, she was super cute, then Fanni came with me, and then we're like, nice. And then we did her project for free, and then she published us I'm not saying she followed the project. Actually, she was very, she's very like free spirit, so she kept, but she did it. And then, which is very nice, is that she met at work. She met a girl, a nun, and then she told to the girl, "There's these girls, amazing girls, they're doing my house." And then a nun hired her, and then she paid, like, not decently. I mean, like it was a real client, like
very
regular
nice
payment, very nice project. So I mean, from one thing you do an investment of time in one thing, and then other like comes very quickly. So
because who would think that Chiara Ferragni replied to In Italy, it's very important that they say that the passaparola, like someone speaks about you well. I think this is the most important source.
Yeah.
More than Instagram.
Yeah.
I think.
My project, my first shoe project, my mom and my dad, because they divorced 4 years ago. So my mom asked me, "Why don't you do my house?" And I say, "Okay, yes." And then my dad, and then it was my first job, and then with the passaparola, that friends, "Oh, okay, you can do it, so maybe you can do it my home and my interior or some shops and with passaparola."
Do you find that it was easier maybe for you, even though that you're not from Milan, but you're from Italy in general and you speak Italian and you still have Italian, like, you know, Italian background? Do you find it was easier than for you than for people who come here to work? Because, you know, Italy is not.
Yes, maybe yes.
Now, you know, there is this, you know, boom of people who are thinking, you know, girls, boys, whatever. They finish school, they get very followed Instagram accounts, and they think they don't have to continue school, and they become professionals, you know, in one way or another. Do you think it might work with interior design? Because, you know, fashion design could be a bit easier, you know, become like, I don't know, a fitness consultant or whatever, it's easy. Be a blogger, it might be a bit easier. But interior design, since you have to kind of like create a 3D space, do you believe that you need an education to do that?
Even product designers cannot do the job of an interior
product
designer.
designers for sure now.
No, I mean, I'm telling you, even if they have a background at the design school, because we have experience with that, some product designers found themselves in a position where, you know, client, "Would you do my house because you have so nice, you choose beautiful furniture, you do beautiful furniture," and then they call us, "Could you please do a layout for us, like a hidden, like you
behind them
won't be anywhere. We just need the layout. We need the layout with the measures of the furniture, what I have to pick," because they don't know how to do.
They don't know what fits. They don't know what fits in the space. So the sense of if it fits or no, if it matches, and also when the work starts, how to deal with people and then with problems, because the problem is, especially in Italy, also in Brazil, buildings are old, and then when they open a wall, there is like all kinds of stuff in there. So you have to understand and to have quick decisions, and you have to have experience, and that doesn't happen. We have this friend, she makes parties, and then she deals with these very important like soccer players from, and then she does their parties, and then they are like, "Oh, you did my party, can you do my house?" And then she's like, "Mari, I want to start this business because I want to be interior designer now." But then she totally lost, and then she asks help to understand because she has no idea. So I think you really need to work and then to go inside. You need to go under a ristrutturazione.
You don't really need the education for taste or for good taste, because you can have it. But for the technical skills, I think you
need
to do not just university but an internship.
How did you come up with how did you come with the decision to start your own business, not to work for somebody, and why?
1.5 years ago, before, I was working in Switzerland, and there I was working for someone in an office, doing a very boring job. And I don't know, after Christmas I just said, okay, that's enough, I don't want to do that anymore. But I was 5 months before my wedding. So I said, anyone will hire me with this 3 weeks of holidays in the middle of May. So I started to work for Mariana, just let's say, to pass my time. Even if it was not paying well and anything else, I just wanted to start, whatever. No, but it was a good school, let's say like that. And then in this 5 months, I started to get clients because I had time to look for clients. I didn't have a full-time job, so I got the time to call friends, to say, hey, I'm here. I heard you bought a new house. Do you want me to do the project? And then once somebody said, yes, let's do it. And then I said, okay, Mari, I have a client. And then 2 weeks later, I have another client and another client.
3 clients. She's like, yeah. Mari, I have 3 clients and I don't know what to do with them. And I was like, okay,
let's do it together.
Then let's do it together.
And so this is how now I'm on my own foot, together.
I get super bored if I work for someone. It's super weird that my productivity goes down. I'm a super active person. I do a lot of things, but if I work for someone, I get really depressed. When I moved to Italy and then I studied 1 year, then I worked in this, it was an amazing office. Everyone wanted to have a job there. People were like, how do I get a job? How do I get a job there? And then I went to the bathroom and cried because I said, I'm super unhappy, I don't want to be under. And then I felt guilty for being unhappy because I said, I'm working in my field. It's not like I came to Italy and I'm doing something else. I'm doing what I graduated on. I'm getting super well paid. I have freedom in my job. They give me everything I can create. But I wasn't happy because I had a lot of dreams. And then I didn't have time to make them. I had plans and I didn't have time to do it. So I used to arrive home and then do something for someone or for a friend. And then I used to work until 2 in the morning. And then I said, you know what? I'm just gonna plan how I'm gonna do it. And I'm just gonna quit and start to doing this and then I became happy again. It's very weird. I don't know. It's not like it's a different job. It's just the position and then get something done for you. It's your dreams, your style, you choose. No one's gonna say no or yes. Of course, now there's Fanni, we agreed and everything. Before I used to say I like it and that's it. But now it's nicer because we get to exchange a lot of information.
For the complete truth, our taste is very similar.
Yeah, it's similar. No, I couldn't. Yeah, no.
We don't mind.
Do you think you need certain qualities to do your own business, or you think basically anybody could do it?
No, it takes balls. I cannot do it without her. I know my limits. She's you're more fierce, I don't know, more shameless, not in a bad way. Okay, I wouldn't have written a mail to Chiara.
You have to try. If stuff are not arriving, you have to go. Mm-hmm. So I think, and another thing is when I quit my job, things started to happen because I think when you are open, things will start to come. So you need to be open. You need to be out there, and people need to see you as well.
My last 2 questions. The first one is, do you have any advice for people who are just starting, their own thing, in general, how to fetch a client, how to sell yourself if you're there, young out, your portfolio maybe is not as extensive, but you want to go on your own. What would be your advice to these young women who want to go and start working for themselves?
For me, just go and talk with people and make a network and meet people, and just I met Mariana on Instagram and then in the real life, because we met
Let's dinner.
and it was very helpful for me.
So cute.
Yes, you just need to be out there. You need to be seen.
Now write emails to every single blogger on Instagram, y'all. Maybe an assistant is gonna come over. Okay, well, and my last question is just related to Design Week. I want to ask you, what was your favorite thing and what is, according to you, is a must-see, or for people who want to educate themselves, like the highlights of the Design Week of this year?
I like
Oh my God, it's too much.
Okay.
the installations. I like
Yes.
to see fuori salone. All the
Yes.
installations.
I didn't go inside the salon, I just go out there, and I like a lot Nilufar Depot.
Yes,
So
Nilufar.
cute.
And all the brands like COS, every year
Yes.
COS does amazing stuff. This year was not as pretty as that.
Inside the Palazzi Zimbardi.
Also Louis Vuitton, the Louis
Yes.
Vuitton exhibitions are a must see every year. So that's what I would say then.
Is there kind of a guide or a must-read book for people who want to get introduced into design or interior design, and they have to they have to read it?
No. There is no book. Super
Just
weird.
go to the
magazines. No, the magazines are super good. Elle
Maybe a
Decor,
blog, maybe a journalist or
Valentina's blog. You have to promote yourself, Valentina.
My blog and my Instagram. No, I'm joking.
Okay. Well, I guess we're done with our major part of the interview, and if you have questions, the audience, you're welcome.
I feel like in Brazil, yes, and there's no competition. We really if someone comes to me and I don't like the style of the house of that person, I was like, I just give to someone, my friend. And here, no, people don't. And someone told me it was because of the crisis that Italy had. So everyone was afraid to lose their job. So after the crisis, it became I cannot lose this. I think it matters. My website, I have a website, I don't touch it. And I don't feel like people go into, I don't know, maybe they do, but they are mostly Instagram because it's faster to update, and
You can see every day that maybe tonight I'm here and tomorrow I'll be, I don't know, work on another project, and people want to know.
they want to know what project
you
you're
do.
working, yes.
Okay, so I see.
And what software do you use and everything. They ask you everything, how do you render, and then they're very specific.
So I guess it's positive.
Yes.
Okay.
I think you have to have a background on doing stores, for example, or you have an Instagram of amazing stores. Maybe they don't even need to be real. Maybe it could be just renders, but someone needs to look and be like, okay, she can create amazing interiors for stores. And then, in order to arrive there, I think you either have to find someone, or in LinkedIn, or someone you know, a friend to arrive there, or a PR. It could be. You can hire a PR to present you.
Thank you, everybody, for coming and sharing your thoughts and listening, asking questions. I guess we're done.